we also have some singles coming up here, and our namesake gets reckoned again. Maybe we should ring like a gong every time we do a Radiohead drop. But
So rare, and I'm excited that I have to have to listen to Radiohead this week.
get it as much as we can. So let's jump in it, as we say. First off, as we start, as we always do, with new singles, we have Pressure by Ari Linux. And this is a wonderful track. Relatively poppy, I would say, like pop-ish, like pop adjacent. But you know, Ari Lennox is just really good vocalist. It has kind of like a slower, um, nice kind of almost steel drum electronic bassy thing in the background that's interesting,
Hmm.
kind of makes it kind of weird sounding, but you know, it's she has a wonderful voice and it's a fun kind of like thing. In the video she's kind of doing like 50s 60s kind of looks and things like
Yeah.
that. So I dig it. It's a really nice track.
And then next one we have Mercy by Chlöe.
Different
Uh,
direction. This is
a completely
Chlöe of
different
Chlöe
direction.
and Bailey fame,
Yes,
and sorry, Chloe and Hallie. I don't know why I did
Ollie.
that. Hallie and Have Mercy is a notably more like trap kind of thing. You start
Hmm.
with Murder on the Beat, so those of you in the know will know that it's not
You
nice.
know, you hear right on the beat, and you're like, "Hey,
Yeah,
it's about to get
it
ratchet in here."
yeah, and so yeah, once again, Chloe has like, I mean like maybe not once again. This is kind of like a surprise to me because I haven't really seen Chloe in like a rapping thing, more in like a singing thing. With Hallie, but like she's rapping and she's rapping pretty well. Like I would say
Yeah,
better than a lot of like male SoundCloud artists that are out there. Um,
well, that's not very difficult to do, but yes,
Low bar, but we have to keep reminding folks out here. So that was a really good track, and I'm interested to see how like what we kind of get more of that. Whether she's gonna like blend in a little bit of singing, whether she's gonna like blend in a little more like
yeah,
trapping.
be interesting. And the track was short too; it was only about 2 minutes long, but it was good. I mean, Murder to Beat made a great, produced it very well too. So,
She could be a one woman Ray Shremmerd potentially. Um, if she
for
plays that
free,
right.
is it gonna be Free Holly then next or what?
No, no, no. They both have robust like solo careers, but I think they would
Um,
both like continue doing career. But that would be really funny. Free, free Hallie. I do not want to. I do not want to be one of those media entities that even in a joke. I mean, like in a joking way, of course, but just so we're clear, we're not trying to perpetuate any sort of feud between the two. We love both of them as
no,
artists.
no, no. Well,
The
yeah,
Ray Shremmer thing is just hilarious. And
exactly.
lastly, gong. We are at
And
the
Sean,
Radiohead corner. If you
oh,
say the word by Radiohead. So, Sean, why do we have a new Radiohead song? And is this even a new Radiohead song?
because the Lord graced us with the presence of a Radiohead and just dropped it down to us just from the heavens on earth. Now, and in seriousness, so they are basically upon the 20th anniversary ish of Kid A slash Amnesiac, which came out in 2000 and 2001 respectively. They're releasing a reissue of the album, but combining both of them to make them called Kid Amnesia, which is kind of play on words. And it's going to be all of a bunch of unreleased tracks that they never have actually done. And like even in like the Radiohead Public Library, I haven't been able to find or anything. So they're all pretty polished up tracks. Some might be similar to things that we've heard before, but never in a produced way. And they released a single this week teasing that. By the way, that's going to come out in November. I believe around November 5th, Kid Amnesia is going to come out. About 10 tracks, I think, of it. There are
10
actually,
new tracks?
yeah, I believe so, but there are some stuff that they have played live. Example, and there's going to be like different versions of stuff. So I'll go to the track listing real quick, like Spinning Plates, which is a different version of it. Title track, Fog Again Again version. If you know, you know that one. If you say the world, which if you say the word, which is the track that came out here. Follow Me Around, which I have played a couple of times, but never really made it production. Poke Pole, and a bunch of other things that they're going to be untitled versions of tracks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But if you say the word is a complete track, it really fits in the style of both Kid A and Amnesiac, and it's a good track. It's just interesting that they never released it as a B side for anything either, because it's a complete produced track. It's not experiments or anything like that at all. So sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I unfortunately did not know that aspect of my homework and have not even heard the song before we gone live. I will definitely be listening to it probably immediately once we're off.
I think I've listened to it 8,000 times at this point, but
Naturally.
Sirius XMU also isn't helping me because they'll play it like on the hour every hour, which doesn't help my my likeness anyways. So I'll keep listening to it. It's cool because you can hear the on Martino and other parts, and it sounds like the era of Radiohead it is. And be interesting to see some of those unreleased tracks and other things because they put like hashtags on their Instagram page of so what some of the tracks will be. But we'll review it when it gets here, which is amazing because I never thought I'd actually be able to review a Radiohead album on this podcast because I thought Tom would say, "Fuck you, you can only review me."
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a while before like we get new 2020 plus era Radiohead.
Yeah, because
And
you have
that
the
might be the
Smile,
last run.
you have the Smile project, which is going to come, which supposedly they've recorded an album and that should be out sometime this year allegedly, but that's going to come out before any proper Radiohead track does because they all live all over the place. No.
Yeah, and especially like lockdowns haven't helped. But to satiate us, we have that Smile project, which should be coming out later this year, early next year. We talked about that in an
Yep.
previous episode of Audioface, and also like a different video you can see on our YouTube channel. Speaking of other Audioface things relating to Radiohead, haha, we did the Radiohead bonus episode that really introduced a lot of people to Radiohead, which is just like a wonderful thing for us personally. But also like for Radiohead fans, like there's some like aspects of the lore and the story that people often like didn't know, and it's just fun to like get a kind of
Shout out
slideshow of all of
Bam
it.
from We Made a Podcast saying he's like, I'm getting emotional and stuff. Bam of Power Report and We Made a Podcast, I should say.
That's right. And so it's great to listen to for old Radiohead people who have been listening to Radiohead for a long time, and people who are new to Radiohead as well, who soon to be Radiohead fans. So check that out at youtube.com/audiofacepod or wherever you listen to podcasts. So all Radiohead all the time. Actually, not really, but when that album comes out, looks like they've lawyered their way into getting Radiohead onto an Audioface episode, just like Gorillaz does sometimes. But we're not going to be doing like Gorillaz are doing a 20th anniversary thing, but I don't think we're getting many new tracks on that. So
No, not
that's
like a
different.
whole new album, which this is what it sounds like. So.
Yeah. We also, just since I'm here plugging things, we do bonus episodes all the time, not only just on Radiohead, but on different artists like MF Doom. That was an emotional one as well. Daft Punk, Caro Bonito, new artists as well. And we even do ones that are like more conversations. We haven't done one of those lately, but we'll definitely do more of those in the future. Like we did the State of Music 2021. The past couple of years, we didn't do Song of the Summer because it just didn't really feel right.
And the same thing like this year too. Like it's closer, but
yeah, it felt more summery. I thought about it a little bit more, but like it's not the same. And like even speaking of it feeling more summery in America is an intense privilege. But anyways, we do bonus episodes. You can check those out at youtube.com/audiofacepod or anywhere you can find the podcast on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, etc. There's many of them. Go out there. Follow us at AudiofacePod at AudiofacePod on Twitter or on Instagram, and like we also said at youtube.com/AudiofacePod. We have a playlist that's available in the YouTube in the description of all of our YouTube videos that have been released this year, and in the description of all of our podcasts that have been released this year to our 2021 AF playlist of basically all of our favorite songs that have been released this year. So check those out as well. And as Sean alluded to earlier, we have friends on the show Power Report. We do political things from time to time. Actually, that's essentially all we do. And you can see Bam on that. You can see Caesar, who is also on We Made a Podcast, on that. You see Sean on that from time to time. I'm on there way too much. And you can get all of that stuff at the possibly inappropriate named youtube.com/Dan from the internet. The youtube.com/Dan from the internet for all the Power Report stuff. And thank you, Peter, for making Power Report and Audioface sound better than ever and continually better all the time. That is thanks to his work at Dead Music Productions. That's Dead Music 666 on Insta.